Okay, Google Chrome recently added something that allows you to group your tabs. If you're a person like me, you probably have a zillion tabs open, especially now that we're doing a lot of virtual with our students from home. And if you're flipping back and forth trying to figure out where different tabs are, having the tabs in various groups organized by color like this is extremely helpful. If you think this is something that might make your life a little better, then check out this video. Okay, so it's now possible to group your tabs. So I'm going to go over how I do that. So one of the first things I open each day is this sort of Hackensack resource portal. So I'm going to start with my school stuff. So what you do is you hover over the tab, right click, and you're going to add the tab to a new group. So far there's no groups, I'm going to make them now. Okay, so now this group is just this gray color. I like to have it be a certain color, so I'll make it purple. And I'm going to name the group School Stuff. So this is just kind of random things I need for school. Of course, here's my school email, so I'm going to right click on that as well. I'm going to add that to that same group by clicking here, and now that will be within this purple section here. I have my Zoom, because obviously we're all using Zoom a lot. So I'm going to make a different group just for Zoom because I find that I'm going to that frequently during the day. And I'm going to have to make the new group by clicking on this dot here, and I'm just going to call this one Zoom. Since Zoom is blue, that's sort of their color, I'm going to choose the color blue. Just helps me. But okay, I'm going to open up a document that I use frequently. I recommend this. I'm going to go to my Google Drive. Notice when I opened that tab from the group School Stuff, since I opened it from within there, this is a new tab with different stuff on it, but it is within that group. So I'm going to open up this, which are all of my Zoom links for the day. These are different Zoom links for all of my classes, so I can just have them in one place for my own purposes. I don't really want this in School Stuff, I want this in Zoom, so I'm going to change it. I'm going to hover over the tab, right click, and I'm going to add it to the group called Zoom. I like to have my personal email opened in case I use that. People often send me stuff to my regular email, even school related stuff. So I'm going to pull this down. I'm going to open up my regular email, but I don't want it in School Stuff. I'm going to make a new group. So I'm going to right click on it, I'm going to add it to a new group, and I'm going to call this Personal Accounts. And I'm going to give this a different color. I like to have my personal calendar open. That's the main calendar that I use. So I'm going to click on that. Since I'm already in this group with my email, that new tab that I opened from that group stays in that group. So that's handy. If I have anything else that I like to have open that's really of a personal nature, you would open it into that group or share it to that group. I use Edpuzzle all the time. It's a big part of my day, especially doing virtual. So I'm going to make a group just for Edpuzzle. I'm going to make a new group because I go to that frequently, so I want it to be separate. I'm going to name it Edpuzzle. I'm going to try to match it to Edpuzzle's color. If you notice, their logo is sort of orange. I like to have this over by School Stuff. I like to have Zoom over here, so I grab the actual thing. Like I want to move Edpuzzle over to here, so I'm gonna drag it and put it over here. I'm gonna open my Google Classroom. I like to make a separate group for that too, because again, I'm clicking on it all day as the classes change. So I'm gonna open up Classroom. Of course, as you're getting the idea, since I opened it from this group, it stays within this group. But I don't want it to be in this group. I want to make its own group because I like to have Google Classroom all together. So I'm going to form a new group and name it Google Classroom and give it a color that hasn't been used. Let's try this green. Maybe that green. Now if I open up more Google Classrooms, like I might open up my period 1. Here's my period 1. Now if I want to open up another one, I might right click and duplicate so I have two copies of the same tab, but now I can change this one. So this one's still, there are two copies of the same tab, but now I can change this one. Like, let's say, well, that's period 2, but I also need my period 3 ready to go. So now I have period 3 open, and I can open up multiple here. So I'm not quite done. I usually open up one more tab. I like to have, just in case there's like some news during my lunchtime that I want to watch, I like to have news open, but I don't necessarily want that in personal accounts. So I might just to be, extra organized, I might create a new group just called news, and go ahead and assign that some color. And if I open up, here's another news thing that I might sometimes follow. I might put that also in to news, add to group. Oh, it's already in news. Okay, good. I got it into news along with, oh, I accidentally replaced my Google News. So let's open Google News again, and we're going to add that back to the group of news. And here we are. Now I've got my sort of day set up. That took me a few minutes, but for the rest of the day, if I need something, it's super easy for my eye to shoot over to what it is that I need. So check out Chrome's group tabs.